I'm Jeannie DeBon, the founder of Moovlite and the creator of the Integral Movement Method. So who is Moovlite for? Well, if you're watching this video, you maybe have come to this video because you have been suffering with back pain or chronic pain, maybe shoulder pain, neck pain, mid-back pain, lumbar pain, hip pain, general non-specific back pain. Yeah, so this video is for you. This video is for people who maybe you've had a similar experience. Maybe you work in an office, you're sitting at your desk all day, and when you stand up at the end of the day, you just feel that stiffness. You're like, oh, my back feels really stiff, and you try and bend and flex it a little bit to try and ease some of that stiffness. That's extremely common. Yeah, when you sit for a long period of time, you don't move around so much. And you know, our lifestyles have become more and more sedentary with technology and working from home. Things have shifted in our communities, in our populations, so we move less. You know, we have our phones, everything's on our phone. We don't really have to get up and do much anymore, right? So when we don't move, so we sit at our desks all day, the tissue, the fascial tissues, the muscular tissues, they become dehydrated, they become stiff. So if you think about a sponge, a wet sponge and a dry sponge is quite hard, you can't bend it, it can't really move, you could even be a bit crumbly. A wet sponge, when you put water on it and you hydrate it, it becomes quite bouncy, quite elastic, it moves, it's easy to move, it's light to move. And that's kind of the difference. So if I sit all day and just tap away at my computer and don't move, I'm going to have tissues that are like the hard sponge. But if I get up and do little movement snacks, or I'm moving every day, I'm going to have tissues that are like the wet sponge. They're a bit more resilient, they're a bit more responsive, they've got a bit more bounce in them. So this is for people who are maybe experiencing that kind of daily life stresses and strains, occupational hazards, as it were, that are causing us to feel stiff and in pain. Yeah, postural issues, stresses of life, those kinds of things. It's also for people who've maybe noticed, you know, especially as we get older, maybe you used to play a lot of sport, tennis, golf. Maybe you've got grandchildren, you know, want to be down playing with your grandchildren. Maybe you've noticed that things aren't quite as easy as they used to be. Maybe I don't have quite as much range when I go to hit the tennis ball, or my golf swing, I'm feeling a little bit stiff now when I start to rotate to hit that golf ball. Maybe I can't get down on the floor quite as much with my grandchildren because my hips and my back are a little bit sore. So again, this is functional. You know, what's going on with your movement that's preventing you getting the movement that you used to get? You know, is it this dehydrated tissue, this stiffening that happens as we get older? Now, the only way to hydrate the tissue, it's not about drinking more water, that's not going to do it. The only way to hydrate your tissue is through movement. The body loves movement. Now, if I move, and it doesn't even have to be a lot, it could be 5-10 minutes a day. That's not a lot. We can all find 5 or 10 minutes a day to do some movement. Then Moovlite is for you. Okay, if you want to create that habit of having healthy tissue that doesn't grumble and complain when you're trying to do the things you love, then Moovlite is for you. And I think, you know, the other thing that can be quite common is, you know, maybe you've started to notice that when you walk slowly, or you can't walk as far as you used to, and your lower back starts to hurt a little bit, or things like going to an art gallery or going to a party where you have to stand still for any length of time. That can be a real killer on the lower back, and you start to notice that's happening quicker and quicker as time goes on. You're losing that tolerance in the tissue, and it starts grumbling quicker and quicker, and it just is becoming more and more annoying, and it's preventing you enjoying life, preventing you enjoying things you want to do. You want to go to parties, you want to go and stroll around an art gallery or stroll around the shops with your children, you know, window shopping. But it can be really, really painful. Again, what's going on around the pelvis? Why is that happening? What's happening to the tissues in your lumbar spine that is causing this discomfort? So again, movement is the way to do it. Hydrating, healthy movement, regular, of course. We have to create the habit of moving regularly. We can't do it one day, leave it for 3-4 weeks. That's not going to change the needle. If you really, really want to change the needle on your chronic pain, then we have to invest the time. That's all it is time. You have to invest the time to create the healthy movement habit. Okay, that is the way to change it. And I know that because I've done it myself. Okay, I used to have chronic pain, quite widespread chronic pain, shoulders, low back, knees, I mean, neck, pretty much everywhere. So I know it from personal experience. I also know it from my clinical experience as I've been working with chronic pain people since 2008. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been in pain. And I've seen the things that work, and I've seen the people who get better. And the people who get better are always the ones who do their homework and do their exercises. So it's all about creating healthy habits. So yeah, that's really who Moovlite is for. So if you fit into any or all of those categories, then please come back and visit the channel again and maybe take a look at our Moovlite program. And I hope to see you soon.